strangest piece of freaking little god annoying jerk on the whole planet? Well, my friend, you came to the right place, because I am sure to give you so much cancer. So, you want to become the scout, eh? Well, let me tell you about this. So, backstory of the scout. Scout originally came in from Boston, somewhere in the 1990s or something. I don't know his original date, but he had many siblings and was only raised by one mother. Now, Scout was more of an athletic kind of person, and the more he ran, the more he kept getting faster, which was basically his goal. In the game, he joins as one of the mercenaries and becomes the Red Scout, the one you've probably known or seen quite a bit. And the Scout's weapons and history, as well as his textures and freaking Valve nerfing some of his weapons, have been complex but very interesting. So, one thing is that we will be covering this video is how you play like Scout and what are the primary weapons and what is useful when playing Scout, as well as for helpful tips to avoid and that will be successful for your future. Now there may be frustration, but still, once you get the hang of it, you will soon master this character. So then, let's get started. So the first thing that is very interesting about the Scout is basically his weapons. Now, his primary function is he can basically run very fast and avoid many subtying like rockets and machine bullets that'll cause you to flip. But one thing he uses for his defense is his three weapons: the scattergun, his pistol, and a broken like metal baseball bat. The first one we will be talking about is his primary weapons, which is basically the scattergun. Now the scattergun is basically a shotgun-like weapon that can deal with great amount of damage if up close. Unfortunately, if shot far away, it will only deal with less damage. But avoiding a certain teammate that you are trying to target with your character as the Scout, you will be able to get up close shots and able to kill your enemy within about a minute or a second, depending on how they have. One thing that is very interesting about the Scout is basically he also comes with several weapons as soon as you level up, because due to your level increases, the more weapons you will have a higher chance of getting. One of them is the backscatter weapon. Now the backscatter shotgun is able to increase so much damage. However, this will only work by crits if you shoot a person or on the other team in the back, causing them to easily get killed or just cause more damage. The second primary weapon, or the third, my bad, is going to be the Force of Nature. Now the Force of Nature can contain great amount of damage in up close battlement and not far away areas. Unlike other weapons, the Force of Nature can give you triple jumps if you shoot downwards on the ground, and you would have to do this by jumping then shooting down the ground, and then you will get your successful jump. However, the shots in the gun can only contain about 2 clips only, and then your character would have to reload, and then you would have to go back into battlements. And now we will move on to his main primary second weapon, the pistol. Now Scout doesn't always have his pistol. He always has other unique tricks up his sleeve, such as basically a normal pistol and then other unique drinks called bonk. Now there are 2 different types of drinks that are useful. If you receive a yellow, or in this case blue, depending on what team color you are on, this drink will make you incredibly fast, but also will make you avoid certain gunfire and shooting. However, there is a certain time limit on that weapon range, or in this case the bonk, and it will deteriorate and it will make you go back to being normal. And there is a recharge rate where you have to wait for a couple of seconds, and then once it's reactivated, if you're in a sticky situation, use it. This can be useful to help get rid of sentries from the other side, which will help you let your team destroy it. The second weapon, or second drink in my case, is he has a purple can. Now this can is crits. Instead of just getting random crits, you can get crits for life. And seriously, this weapon is so well, but also in my case, I wouldn't bother using it. Now, even though this weapon, or can in this case, can give you so many crits, it can only do so much. Again, like the bonk, it has a rechargeable rate and has a time limit. So I would use this very wisely if you're in a sticky situation. Now, one of the other weapons is his Mad Milk. Now the Mad Milk, I don't quite know what it literally does. I mean, I've played it and used it. All I know is it causes the enemy to kind of like weaken, causes their slowness and everything else. One of the weapons that we would now be talking to, even though there's a bunch of others, it is the pre-pocket pistol, and that is another weapon. Now this weapon I would highly recommend you would want to kind of keep, even though it's for beginners. The Pretty Boy pocket pistol is basically like the normal pistol gun, only a bit more classy and more fancier. Now this pistol, for example, will only do much better if you shoot the enemy and if you have low health. And each time you fire or get a hit on the enemy, you will gain more health. This is useful for teams with low damage or with people who are playing the scout. And finally, we will be talking about his third weapon, which is basically the baseball bat. Now this, you can just basically hit people in the head, crack their skulls, and make them get upset. This weapon comes with several types. There is also the Sandman. Now the Sandman is a great, excellent weapon because you get a baseball and you can hit that baseball, clobbering your enemy in the head, causing them to be stunned for a couple of seconds, depending on how long, the length and range you hit it from, which will give you the advantage to dominate and get your win. The other weapon is basically a Christmas event edition, which is basically wrapping paper and an ornament glass. So basically this weapon will cause the enemy to bleed for a couple of seconds, and there is a chance that you will cause great amount of crits, but also give you a higher advantage. Now one weapon I recommend you would stay away from, and if you do get this weapon, sell it or get rid of it or turn to scrap, is the Sun on a Stick. Now I know there has been a few changes to it, but seriously, let's just face it, this weapon sucks dawn. Or in my opinion, this weapon is just terrible, like absolutely terrible. I seriously would not let you want to have this weapon for your own sanity's sake. The reason why is this weapon does not deal with a lot of damage, it slows you down, it just causes so much worse for your character. So I would recommend not getting this weapon. And so basically, we will be also talking about 2 tips for being a scout. So my number 1 tip is, do not stop, keep moving. If there's a sniper or someone else firing, you have a good chance. Now if there's a sniper, I recommend like jumping around and moving side to side. Hopefully do not give him a chance to fire at you. My number 1 goal is jump around. That is the only case. And this can go for any other team, but mostly scout is more reliable on the source. Tip number 2, always go with your teammates, but do not stick in a giant group. Now even though scout is very fast and very quick, there is some downfalls to the character. Many scouts can also have very amounts of damage, but if you stay with one group or get fumbled in one area, you will be destroyed. My number 1 goal is, like I said, number 1, keep moving, do not stop, and get out as much as you can. And then the final tip for number 3 is play fair. Now many people who have played the scout will either be jerks or who will be more reliable as scouts. But the problem is, many people who play the scout just end up getting people upset. So my number 1 goal is just play how you want to play, but seriously, for the love of God, for everyone's sanity and for everyone's own soul, I recommend you just do this right. And so that's it. That's all you need to know for Scout, and that's all you need to know for this type of version. And the next video will be more on the next mercenary. And if you like this video, I want you to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share it with your friends. Have fun playing the Scout, and let me know what else I should add on or any other tips that would be helpful to other players. And I'll see you in the next episode. So bye.